killed 5 women in the city was just in your apartment.
Before he kills again.
All I know to do is change your locks, tighten up your security, and pray.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another classic film review. Today I'm taking a look at the 1995 serial killer thriller Copycat. The film is directed by John Emile and it stars Sigourney Weaver, Holly Hunter, Dermot Mulroney, William McNamara and Harry Connick Jr. Now, the film focuses on Sigourney Weaver's character, Helen Hudson. Now, Helen is a renowned criminal psychologist who, at the beginning of the film, is giving a speech in a hall about serial killers. But in actual fact, she has a real serial killer who is very, very interested in her, Darrell Lee Cullen, played by Harry Connick Jr. Later that evening, he abducts her in the ladies' bathroom, kills a police officer, and essentially tortures her. She essentially barely gets away with her life. The film jumps forward a few years. She is now agoraphobic, seriously affected by what happened to her. She can't leave her apartment. But there's a new serial killer on the loose. This serial killer is copying famous serial killers' crime scenes. The police aren't really figuring that out. Holly Hunter and her partner, Dermot Mulroney, essentially get a phone call from Sigourney Weaver's character saying they're on the wrong track. What are they playing? That sort of thing. They turn up at her apartment, realize who she is, and she agrees to help them. However, this new serial killer targets her very quickly. Right, what are my thoughts on Copycat? Well, I think this is one of the most underrated serial killers of the 90s. And the 90s really was the decade of serial killer films. After the huge success of Silence of the Lambs, they came thick and fast throughout that decade, and a lot of them were very, very good indeed. And this is one that I think has got lost in the shuffle over the years. Even Sigourney Weaver thinks the same. There are interviews out there where she is actually very, very proud of this film and her performance in it, and rightly so, because it's an excellent performance. And I do think there is, a good film here, a good thriller here, and I do think it's one that is kind of, I don't know whether you would say it's kind of been forgotten, but it's one that's definitely underrated in my opinion. It is structured as you would expect a film like this to be structured. The cops kind of don't really know what they're doing. They find an expert to help them. The serial killer targets the expert. We've seen it time and time again, obviously, but it works really, really well here, I think. And it's got strong performers and strong performances. You've got Sigourney Weaver, I think, puts on a tremendous performance. This Helen character, very layered performance. She is very, very strong and assertive at the beginning of the film, and then turned into this agoraphobic wreck where she can't leave the house. She has panic attacks regularly. She's got a friend who lives with her, and he kind of is her assistant, and he looks after her. She's full of medication. She's an absolute mess. But she also presents this character as very vulnerable, but also at the same time very strong and very much a woman. And I do think I think it's right up there with some of her best performances, Sigourney Weaver. Holly Hunter, always fantastic, always reliable. She plays Detective Monahan. Good chemistry with Dermot Mulroney, her partner. Good chemistry with Sigourney Weaver. A clever, intelligent detective. And she does what you would expect her character to do in this film. You could argue she could have been given a little bit more to do here. But at the end of the day, Sigourney Weaver's character is the main character here. She's the one that, the film is kind of focusing its energies on. Dermot Mulroney's character, who plays Holly Hunter's partner, steady character, steady performance. He's got chemistry with Sigourney Weaver. There's a little bit of a thing going on with their characters, which again is what I mean by when Sigourney Weaver, you know, she may well be a bit of a wreck and a mess, but she's still a woman, and she's, you know, she's got attractions, and she finds him attractive. And William, I think where this film kind of, people are a bit like, is the serial killer itself, the copycat killer, if you like, as the media call him, is a little bit underwhelming. I don't think they kind of present him as scary enough, terrifying enough. He's almost, I don't know, a buffoon at times, it would seem. Or, I don't know, there's just something about him where he is just not, you know, like some serial killers, you know, in some of these films, they are just like, oh God, I just wouldn't want to meet them in a dark alley. This, you know, William McNamara's character, while obviously he's very dangerous in this film for the things that he does, is not particularly what I would describe as the most memorable serial killer you're ever going to see in a film. And there's no real mystery here. It's not a case of who is the serial killer, because the film reveals that eventually anyway. That's not really the main pull of the film, sort of thing. There's like this weird triangle, this weird thing going on, dynamic with Sigourney Weaver's character and Harry Connick Jr.'s character, Darrell Lee Cullum, who is the one that abducts her at the beginning of the film and tortures her and, you know, makes her this agoraphobe. But and he's in prison now, but he's still got this hold over her. And there's a nice scene later in the film where he's in prison and she does like a video call with him, with Holly Hunter. He, for me, was the real serial killer of interest in this film, and it didn't. I think we needed more of him, is what I'm saying, really. But I mean, this is really a solid serial killer thriller. There are some tense moments, there are some good moments, there are some shocking moments here and there in it. It's anchored by a superb, strong, and assured performance by Sigourney Weaver. It's supported by, you know, very, very solid actors in Holly Hunter, Dermot Mulroney, Harry Connick Jr., and they all kind of do what they need to do. It's not one of those serial killers films where, like, you know, loads of dumb stuff happen or anything like that, or, you know, it doesn't kind of overextend itself or reveal things that it shouldn't. It's, you know, it's pretty nicely structured. It works quite well. And it is one of those, if you haven't seen it, Copycat, and you do like serial killer films, this is definitely one to check out. There were so many great ones in the 90s. Like I say, I don't think a lot of people think about or even talk about this one, but it's one that I do definitely recommend you guys watch. It's just recently come on Netflix, which is how I came to watch it. My wife had never seen it before, so it just come on Netflix in the UK, so I thought, I'll put this on. It's a long time since I've seen it, and we do enjoy watching like serial killer documentaries on Netflix and serial killer movies, and she did quite enjoy it as well. So yep, that's me. That's my thoughts on Copycat. Let me know if you've seen the film. If you haven't, are you going to go and check it out? And give me some ideas as well, guys, for some serial killer films that maybe you think I haven't seen that I should maybe check out from the 90s and beyond, even earlier. There's no time. There's no, you know, limit on when it has been released. I'm very interested to check out films that I've never seen before or haven't seen for a long time, so I look forward to hearing your suggestions. So thanks for joining me for this review. I will of course be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.